Alright, in this video, factoring tutorial series video number 1, and we're going to find a greatest common factor, also referred to as the GCF. And before we dive into algebraic approaches, I want to make sure we understand how to find a greatest common factor for a set of just numbers. No variables, no other expressions, just numbers. And for the first problem here, we want to find the greatest common factor of 12 and 60. I'm going to show you two approaches to these examples because sometimes it can be easier than other cases. Now, first of all, let's make sure we understand what a factor is. If I write down 12 and I want to write down factors of 12, you want to think of numbers that will multiply into 12 nicely. Do not confuse a factor with a multiple. Now, multiples of 12 are 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, and so forth. That's multiples. Factors of 12 are numbers like 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, because 1 times 12 gives you 12, 2 times 6 gives you 12, 3 times 4 gives you 12. As a matter of fact, these are the only factors of 12. These numbers multiply nicely together to give us 12. Let's repeat that process for 60. Now, I am going to show you another approach right here in a moment to find a greatest common factor because sometimes you may not be able to find these factors as fast. But for now, factors of 60. 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 5 times 12, 6 times 10, and let's see what else we can do. Notice I'm going in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, if you try 7, 7 will not multiply nicely into 60. 8, same problem. 9, same problem. 7, 8, and 9 are not factors of 60 because you cannot multiply those numbers by a whole number to get 60. So notice I said 7, 8, and 9 will not work. Well, that leaves the next number being 10. And when that happens, we've looped back around because we have gone in order. Now that we have all of these factors listed out, we want to find the greatest common factor. So we look at 12, and we got all the factors of 12 listed out. We look at 60, we have all its factors listed out, and we want to find the greatest one. And it turns out that 12 is the greatest common factor. Now, some of you probably could have done that in your head because you know that 12 is a factor of 60. However, if not, this is one approach to looking at it. The greatest common factor of 12 and 60 is 12. Now, you probably couldn't look at number 2 and come up with that number, snap your fingers, and you have your answer. So I do want to show you a slightly different approach than finding the factors like we did here. And what we're going to do is a prime factor tree. This can take a little bit of time, but with practice, you can always get the right answer no matter how big these numbers are. 105. I want you to think of any two numbers that multiply to give you 105, and we're going to create a prime factor tree. Again, the whole point of this is to find the biggest number that will multiply nicely into 105, 30, and 75. So 105, I know that 5 will go into it since 105 ends in a 0 or 5, and 5 times 21 will give you 105. Now 5 is a prime number, so I'm going to stop with that 5, but 21, that's 7 times 3. So let's look at the prime factors. Prime factors, we cannot break these up anymore. 105 is the same thing as 5 times 7 times 3. Once we got to a prime factor such as the 5, the 7, and the 3, we cannot break those numbers up anymore. But if you go back and multiply this out, 5 times 7 is 35. 35 times 3 is 105. Let's repeat this process for 30. Any two numbers that multiply to give you 30. Some of you may say 10 times 3. I'm going to say 6 times 5. The 6 we can break up some more. That's going to be a 2 times a 3. So if we look at 30 now, 30 is going to be equal to 2 times 3 times 5. And again, I'm stopping there because we cannot break this up anymore. 5 was a prime number, 3 is a prime number, 2 is a prime number. Let's do this process one more time for 75 and think of any two numbers that multiply to give you 75. You could say maybe 15 times 5 or 25 times 3. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to pick 25 times 3. And then the 25 will break up into 5 times 5. These are our prime factors of 75. So therefore 75 is going to be equal to 3 times 5 times 5. Now that we have the prime factorizations of 105, 30, and 75, look at the prime factors and let's highlight or circle anything they have in common. For example, they all have a 5 in it, right? They all have a 3 in their prime factorizations. So a 5 and a 3. The GCF will be the product of the things they have in common. Notice they have no other factor in common, no prime factor, no 7, nope, no other 5s, no 2s, but the 5 and the 3 they do have in common, and if we multiply those together, we do get 15. It turns out 15 is going to be the greatest common factor of 105, 30, and 75. If you were to come and write down the factors of 105 like we did here, and 30, and 75, you would see that 15 is going to be the greatest one. It's the greatest one they have in common, and that's why we call it the greatest common factor. In the next video, video number 2, we'll come in and apply some variables to this to take a more algebraic approach, and ultimately through this entire series, you'll be able to factor things even that you would see in a college algebra class. And there you have it, factoring tutorial series video number 1, factoring a greatest common factor, just a numerical approach here. And that's it for this video. I hope it helped.